Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. You're amazing, amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. And you're looking absolutely amazing on this terrific, terrific Tuesday. And this is video 2 of 2. So if you missed the first one, go check it out. After this one, of course. After this one, remember the algorithm, the gods of YouTube. So look, the Jay Slater case, we're sticking with the Jay Slater case today. Now, I am aware that there is an ongoing situation in the UK. There's been a tragic event happen in Southport. Now, I'm kind of waiting for the dust to settle on it before I jump in, because there's a lot of things being said in that are unclear surrounding who did it, where the person originated from, and I don't want to say anything too out of place in that when it's not completely clear at this stage. But my thoughts are with all of those that are affected in that situation. And I would imagine that what I'll do is a live tomorrow to have more of a discussion about that situation. But like I say, for now we're talking about the Jay Slater case, because I've had a few people who have emailed, reached out to me. Some happy, some not so happy about the coverage of the Jay Slater case. And you can see it. If you've been around the channel, and not just this channel, but other channels, you'll see some of the comments. Oh, you're milking this, and, you got to get those readies, boy, and all this sort of stuff. And, it's kind of water off a duck's back to me. Like, I've got a GoFundMe set up for a camera that is upsetting people. At the end of the day, I don't need a camera. The channel requires one in order to function. At the moment, I'm using my phone, which comes with difficulties. Yes, it does the job. It does the job, but in order to do the job properly, I need a camera. I broke a camera while I was away filming videos for this channel while I was with my family, and I do multiple videos every single day and have done for nearly 3 years. And I don't ask for things every single video. I have just asked for that, and actually it started out as a bit of a joke, and then it became serious. So for those of you who are not happy with it, that's your prerogative, but it's done. And that's history. But let's get on with it, because I want to address something regarding the Jay Slater situation. Okay? Now, I cover the Jay Slater case for one reason, and one reason only. Because people are interested in it. People are interested in the Jay Slater case, and it does bring in views. And the channels need to acquire views in order to function adequately. People are ignorant about the way that channels operate. If we do a video and the video doesn't perform, it affects the channel, because the way that the system is set up, and this is the same with cases. We spoke about this yesterday. The way that some cases obtain loads of notice. People see it and they get involved and it becomes viral. And then some just don't. Even though they're equally as tragic, or sometimes more tragic. You could argue that the Jay Slater situation, which we're going to talk about in a second, is not so worthy for everything that they've garnered, in comparison to other missing people cases. Could be argued that the person and people involved in that are not as deserved here than they are here, yet this one becomes more viral, so it gets more interest and therefore gets more donations. But that's by and by. I'm being honest. I'm being open with you. I will do videos on content that continues to bring in views, because it benefits this channel to do so. But also there is another reason as well, and that is that the Jay Slater case is one that people should learn from. People should learn a lesson from. And that is that, and I know this is going to piss people off, because we talk about this and we talk about the youths of today, they're not like us. But this is a true story. It is about the youths of today. The youths of today are very different than when we were younger. The risks that they take, the way that they are willing to do specific things to earn money, to obtain things that they see on social media, the state of our economies that no longer offers conduits to other things. Like, we now have Labour government in, for instance, and they're now talking about raising taxes and raising fees for private education, which will ultimately price people out of that. So that will then force people that would normally have access to private schooling to go into community schooling that is already busting at the seams, but yet they won't get more teachers, they won't sort out that. So I suppose what I'm getting at is we live in a time that not only is there now less conduits for kids to go out and do things and become interested in other stuff and get money and get good at things to get jobs that give them money. They now don't have that, but they have social media, so they can see other people obtaining money and obtaining wealth in specific ways, and they want that. And it leads to poor decisions. It leads them to taking risks. And I think if you're a parent, if you are a parent of a teenager especially, you need to be completely aware of what your kid could be doing behind your back. If you are of a mindset that your child is a fucking angel, then I hate to tell you, but the likelihood is at some point that is going to come crashing down around your ears, and you're going to realize that you took your eye off the ball, and you'll find yourself in a situation very similar to the Jay Slater family. Because make no bones about it, the Jay Slater family either took their eyes off the ball, or they are well aware and complicit in what has happened in the Jay Slater case. So it's one or the other. Because in my opinion, the Jay Slater situation happened because they were over there doing stuff that they shouldn't have been doing. And that's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. I'm not pointing the finger at any individual and saying they did this or they did that. I'm saying that this stinks, this entire case stinks of a situation that started at the NRG festival with Jay being in a position where he was unwell, potentially under the influence of things that he shouldn't have been involved in. He ended up going with people who he should not have been hanging around with, and then wound up deceased. And however you want to sugarcoat that situation, however you want to try and dig him out of the weeds, it's difficult to do that. Even if you want to say he just fell, then say that. But it doesn't change the facts around this case, that there were people who were acting odd. There were people who were around these people who are convicted criminals, and who are even now, after the dust is kind of still settling, still now trying to charge people for a story like they're saying there is more to this. And if you truly want to know, well, what the fucking hell else is there to know? What is there to know then? Or are you just lying? I suppose people could turn around and say it's quite funny that a YouTube content creator is criticizing somebody else for going on another platform and trying to charge people for information, when ultimately that's what I do. And I get your point. But I weren't with Jay. I weren't one of the last people to see Jay alive. I can just come on here and give my opinion of a situation that was a tragic situation. But the harsh truth in all this is that Jay Slater died, and it could have been avoided. 100% it could have been avoided. And you have to make the decision on who is to blame here. Because there is blame here. Whether you want to blame Jay himself for the decisions that he made that ultimately led to his demise, and there would have been a catalogue of poor decision making here, or Jay Slater and what happened to him happened because other people played a part in the decisions that he made. And that is the only two options, in my opinion. I'll catch you all tomorrow.